David, imagine waking up one morning, checking your mail, and discovering that your attendance allowance is gone, just like that. No warning, no explanation. Could this really happen? Or maybe you've heard whispers about cuts coming in February, but is your area affected? And if it is, what does this mean for your financial future? For thousands of seniors across 13 specific postcodes, this isn't just a rumor, it's happening. But here's the catch, not everyone knows about it yet. Could you or someone you know be on the list? And more importantly, what can you do right now to protect your payments before it's too late? The DWP's latest move has left many pensioners questioning, why these 13 postcodes? Will other areas be next? Is there a way to challenge this decision? It's easy to feel powerless when government policies shift overnight, but here's what most people don't realize, there's a loophole, a way to potentially safeguard your benefits before the February deadline. And I'll break it all down for you, step by step. Stay with me because, in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the full list of affected postcodes. Could your area be on it? The hidden reason behind these cuts, it's not what you think. What you must do now to prevent losing your money. David here, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Hit that like button and keep watching because what I'm about to share could make the difference between keeping your benefits or facing an unexpected financial shock. This latest move by the DWP has sent shockwaves through thousands of pensioners. It's left many wondering, is my attendance allowance safe, and what do I do if I'm affected? The government has quietly decided to pull the plug on this essential benefit in 13 postcodes, and if you're not paying attention, you could wake up to an empty bank account in February. Now, before we go any further, let me ask you this, what would you do if your payment suddenly stopped? How would you cover essential costs like bills, heating, and medical expenses? The truth is, most seniors rely on attendance allowance to help with their daily lives, and losing it without warning would be devastating. But here's what's even more concerning, not everyone will be informed on time. That means, while some people get the chance to prepare, others will be blindsided. So, what's really going on? Why has the Department for Work and Pensions targeted these specific areas? Is it just a budget cut, or is there something more to this story? Well, I've done the digging, and what I found might shock you. See, this isn't the first time the DWP has quietly reduced benefits under the radar. We've seen similar moves in the past, where certain postcodes were targeted as a test phase before rolling out changes nationwide. Could this be happening again? Could this be a warning sign that attendance allowance is on its way out entirely? Now, let's talk about these 13 postcodes. If you live in one of these areas, you need to act immediately. Because once the payments stop, getting them back won't be easy. The DWP has been known to drag out appeals for months, leaving pensioners without crucial funds. And if you're wondering why these areas were chosen, the answer might surprise you. Many of these postcodes have a high percentage of older residents who rely on attendance allowance. That means thousands of seniors will be affected, but here's the catch, the government isn't officially confirming the full impact yet. They are keeping things vague, making it difficult for people to know whether they'll still receive payments next month. And that's a huge problem. Imagine this, February rolls around, and suddenly, your payment doesn't arrive. You call the DWP, only to be put on hold for hours. When you finally get through, you're told that your postcode is no longer eligible. No warning, no explanation, just a sudden loss of income. Now, you might be thinking, surely, they have to notify people. And while that's true in theory, in practice, things don't always go smoothly. Many seniors have already reported delays in receiving letters about benefit changes, and in some cases, the notices arrived after payments had already stopped. That's why waiting for an official letter could be a dangerous mistake. So, what can you do? Well, the first step is finding out whether your postcode is on the list. If it is, you need to start preparing immediately. That means looking into alternative financial support options, appealing any sudden changes, and ensuring you have a backup plan in place. But here's the biggest mistake people make, they assume that once a decision is made, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's simply not true. There are ways to challenge these cuts and potentially keep your attendance allowance. The problem is, most people don't know about them. For example, did you know that even if your payments stop, you may still qualify under a different category. The DWP often reclassifies benefits, meaning you could reapply under a slightly different condition and continue receiving support. But you need to know exactly how to phrase your application. That's where many people go wrong. They give up too soon, not realizing they might have a way to keep their payments. And here's another crucial point: if you act fast, you might be able to prevent losing your allowance altogether. There's something called a mandatory reconsideration, which allows you to challenge the decision before it fully takes effect. Most people don't even realize they have this option, and by the time they do, it's already too late. But let's take a step back for a moment. Why is this happening in the first place? The official reason given by the DWP is cost-cutting and reallocating funds where they are needed most. But what does that really mean? Are they saying seniors in these 13 postcodes don't need financial support anymore? Of course not. The reality is, this is part of a much larger shift in how benefits are being distributed. Over the past few years, we've seen a pattern: gradual cuts, restrictions, and new eligibility requirements that make it harder for people to qualify. It's a slow process, so it doesn't create immediate backlash. But if you look at the bigger picture, it's clear: support for pensioners is shrinking. And this latest move is just another step in that direction. Now, let's talk solutions. If you're worried about losing your attendance allowance, here's what you need to do right now. First, check your status. Even if you haven't received an official letter yet, call the DWP and ask. Find out whether your area is affected and get clarity on whether your payments will continue beyond February. Second, look into other benefits. If attendance allowance is cut, you may still qualify for other types of support, like pension credit or council tax reduction. The key is applying early before funding runs out. Third, get legal advice if needed. There are organizations that specialize in helping pensioners appeal benefit cuts, and in many cases, they can help you reverse a decision. It might take time, but remember, persistence pays off. And most importantly, don't wait until it's too late. Many people assume these changes won't affect them until they do. By then, it's an uphill battle to get payments reinstated. But if you act now, you can stay ahead of the system and ensure you're not caught off guard. David here, and I know this has been a lot to take in. But here's the bottom line: if you live in one of these 13 postcodes, your attendance allowance could be at risk. And if this is just the beginning of a larger trend, who's to say your area won't be next? The government isn't going to come knocking on your door to warn you. You have to take action yourself. That's why I'm here, to keep you informed, so you don't get left behind. If you found this information helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for updates, and share this with anyone who might be affected. Because when it comes to these benefit cuts, knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better prepared you'll be. Remember, every day counts as you navigate these changes. The uncertainty looming over the future of your attendance allowance isn't just a policy update, it's a call to action for every single one of you. I encourage you to take the time to speak with local representatives and community advocates who understand the intricacies of the DWP's decisions. Ask your questions, demand clear answers, and insist on receiving timely updates. This isn't just about safeguarding a benefit, it's about preserving your dignity and financial independence, something you've earned through years of hard work and resilience. Consider reaching out to your local community centers, where experts can help decipher the legal language and procedural steps involved in this transition. The more proactive you are, the less likely you will be caught unprepared. Your voice truly matters, and when we come together as a community, we can ensure that the concerns of seniors are not overlooked or dismissed. In these challenging times, staying informed and connected isn't just a precaution, it could be the difference between a smooth transition and an unforeseen financial struggle. I'll continue to provide updates and share insights as this story unfolds, and I urge you to join the conversation by commenting below and sharing your experiences. Every story matters, and yours could be the catalyst for positive change, not only for yourself but for countless others who might be facing similar challenges. Stay engaged, stay vigilant, and remember that we're in this together. Your action today could secure the benefits you need for tomorrow.